Hey guys, it's me, Samantha. From Thor's romance to a princess fairy tale turned reality, here are famous couples that met on blind dates.
Number 10. Anne Hathaway and Adam Shulman. These two actors met in 2008 during the Palm Springs Film Festival after they were introduced through a mutual friend.
At the time, Hathaway apparently even told one of her pals, "I'm going to marry that man."
She later said during an interview with Harper's Bazaar, "I think he thought I was a little nuts," which I am a bit, but I'm also nice. I've never really talked about this, but I was just very honest with him. I knew from the second I met him that he was the love of my life. Even though this duo had serious chemistry right off the bat, they didn't start dating until 2 months later because they both thought the other person was in a relationship. When Anne found out that Shulman was indeed single, she jumped at the chance to ask him out. Their first date was a bit more exciting than your average get a drink at the bar outing. Anne and Shulman went on a little trip to New Orleans. She had an extra ticket and her friends were unable to go, so she asked Adam, and things went very well. They ended up tying the knot in 2012 and had their first child, Jonathan, in 2016. Hathaway later stated about her husband, "He changed my ability to be in the world comfortably. I think the accepted narrative is that we, as women, don't need anybody, but I need my husband. His unique and specific love has changed me." A strange fact about these lovebirds is that many think Adam Shulman has an uncanny resemblance to William Shakespeare, the famous playwright whose wife's name was coincidentally Anne Hathaway. Number 9. Chris Hemsworth and Elsa Pataky. These two celebs met back in 2010 via mutual friends, and there were fireworks right away. They tied the knot during the same year and quickly started having children. In 2012, Pataky gave birth to their daughter, India. 2 years later, they had 2 twin boys, Tristan and Sasha. Something really interesting about Chris and Elsa's union was that when she was just 15 years old, she sort of foreshadowed her future boo.
She got a small tattoo of Thor's symbol on her upper right arm. Of course, this was before the Thor films came out and before she met Hemsworth.
Elsa told Vogue Australia, "Yes, it's about Thor and I ended up marrying who plays Thor. It is shocking how things in life turn out. I just like that symbol, and the legend he had was so beautiful and I wanted to keep it." Elsa dove further into her and her husband's relationship, stating, "In the beginning it was beautiful. When I met him, he wasn't known at all, and I grew with him and experienced all of his success and changes. And then he became just so huge. And I've been sharing that too. Going through every moment and being there with him with every success was actually a good thing. We grew together. It's difficult when you go from being an unknown person to a very known person and all the changes that come with that." She further noted that she isn't sure how the two of them made things work considering how fast their romance evolved, but their hard work and love for one another has kept them together, and she looks to Chris's parents for inspiration. Number 8. Cameron Diaz and Benji Madden. These two met when Benji showed up to her dinner party, which she was hosting with Nicole Richie and Joel Madden, Benji's brother. She later stated about seeing him for the first time, "The first thing I said when I first met my would-be husband was, 'He's hot.'" They started dating in May 2014, and by that October, Cameron's ring made fans believe they were already engaged. They got married in January 2015. Benji wrote a heartfelt message to Cameron on her 46th birthday that said, "Thank you for being the best friend and partner to me and taking this journey of marriage. The way you live your life every day and your compassion for the world shines through in your eyes, and you inspire me to want to be the best man I can be in this lifetime." Number 7. Joe Manganiello and Sofia Vergara. This couple met by accident at the White House Correspondents' Dinner in May 2014.
After he found out that Sofia was indeed single, he reached out to her co-star Jesse Tyler Ferguson for her phone number.
After that, he traveled to New Orleans to take her out for their first date. Soon after they started seeing each other, Vergara told Good Morning America the funny story about their first meeting, noting, "He smelled me and couldn't help himself. That's all you need if you want Joe." It might seem like a joke, but Joe had previously said to people, "I'm big into smell. It's funny I got cast as a werewolf. There's something about the smell on that part of a woman's neck where it meets the jaw. It's heaven." After they officially got together, he proposed on Christmas Eve. They tied the knot in November 2015 and have been happily married ever since. Number 6. Emily Blunt and John Krasinski. This celebrity duo met in November 2008 through a mutual friend in a Los Angeles restaurant. John later told Ellen that he knew that she was the one right after they met, stating, "It was one of those things where I wasn't really looking for a relationship and I was thinking I'm going to take my time in LA. Then I met her and I was so nervous. I was like, oh God, I think I'm going to fall in love with her. As I shook her hand, I went, I like you." In 2009, the two got engaged, and they both reportedly cried from happiness. They tied the knot a year later in Lake Como, Italy, at George Clooney's estate. They had their first baby, Hazel Grace, in February 2014. In August 2015, Krasinski told people about their evolving relationship, noting, "It's really that we just got lucky. It's one of those things. I'm having more fun now than the day I met her. It's pretty wild." The next year, Emily gave birth to their second daughter, Violet. In 2018, the first movie they filmed together, A Quiet Place, came out. Number 5. Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Hilarie Burton. These two were introduced by supernatural bad boy Jensen Ackles. Jeffrey recalled their blind date later on, stating, "I happened to be single and Jensen said, 'I've got a girl you should meet.' So I went to a bar bar and I met Hilarie at a bar with Jensen and Danelle. And the rest is history. We ended up back at my house drinking shots of tequila, since they knew they were deeply connected from the moment they met. Jeffrey later said, I was on my way to do a movie called The Resident in New Mexico, and she was on her way to Paris, and I talked her into, instead of going to Paris, to come and see me in New Mexico. And I ruined her life, and now she's stuck with me.
In 2010, they had their first child, Gus, and they married in secret 4 years later. They had their second baby, a daughter named Georgia Virginia, in February 2018.
Jeffrey even delivered both of their children. He told people, we didn't use doctors, we used a midwife, so I delivered both of my kids. The first time I didn't know, I was shocked that I was part of it. The second time I was a little bit more prepared and got in and got her out immediately. Hilarie was over it, so it was awesome. I got to deliver both my kids for real, it was cool. Number 4, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. This one wasn't necessarily a surprise meeting or done through a mutual friend, but these two were trying to date other people when they officially started seeing each other. They were friends since filming The Green Lantern together, but they were with other people at the time. After those relationships ended, they were on a double date. Ryan was with another girl and Lively was with another guy. However, the date didn't go as planned. Instead of developing an interest in the people they brought, Ryan and Blake fell for each other. By late 2011, things were official. They were photographed holding hands after staying with Reynolds' family for the holidays. In 2012, they shocked the world with a sudden secret wedding. 3 years later, Blake gave birth to their daughter, James. A year after that, they had their second daughter, Anise. These two are still as happy as ever. Number 3, Justin Timberlake and Jessica Biel. Justin and Jessica met during the 2007 Golden Globe Awards.
After talking to each other and flirting all night, Timberlake decided to ask a mutual friend to ask Jessica if it was okay to give her a call.
But unlike some of the other couples on our list, these two didn't exactly hit it off right away when he asked her on a date. Justin later remarked during a press conference, I had to be pretty persistent in order to get her to say yes, but I have a fair amount of tenacity, and if I want something, I stick to it. And in the end, she agreed. Biel also said later on that she and Justin didn't kiss for quite some time after they started seeing each other. In 2011, after a seemingly wonderful relationship, they broke up. But the split didn't last long, and by December of that year, they were back together, and Timberlake proposed. They tied the knot in 2012 and had their first child, Silas Randall, in 2015. In 2017, their relationship continued going strong, and Jessica told Entertainment Tonight, I think having a partner who is doing something that you're excited about, like for me, his music and everything that he does, it's just amazing to see somebody doing what they love. And I think it can be as simple as that. These two are still going strong today.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Number 2, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Perhaps one of the most famous couples of all time, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle met on a blind date in July 2016. Prince Harry told BBC that they were introduced by a mutual friend. Despite his worldwide notoriety, Markle noted that she hadn't known much about him, telling BBC, because I'm from the States, you don't grow up with the same understanding of the royal family. I didn't know much about him, so the only thing that I had asked our mutual friend when she said she wanted to set us up was, well, is he nice? Because if he wasn't kind, it just didn't seem like it would make sense. But this duo had chemistry immediately, and Harry even said later on that he knew she was the one. The very first time they met, he even convinced Meghan to join him in Botswana, where they camped under the stars. Prince Harry noted that this was critical for their relationship because they got to be by themselves, giving them a chance to get to know each other on a deeper level.
About 4 months later, he introduced her to his family, and the news leaked that they were together. In November 2017, Meghan and Harry announced that they were engaged.
They tied the knot during a monumental ceremony in May 2018 at Windsor Castle. Number 1, Tom Brady and Gisele Bündchen. Patriots quarterback Tom Brady and Brazilian model Gisele Bündchen met via mutual friends in 2006. After a 3-hour-long conversation that day, Gisele knew that Tom was the one for her. She later told Vogue, the moment I saw him, he smiled and I was like, that is the most beautiful, charismatic smile I've ever seen. We sat and talked for 3 hours. I had to go home for Christmas, but I didn't want to leave. You know that feeling of, like you can't get enough from the first day we met? We've never spent one day without speaking to each other.
They got engaged at the beginning of 2009, and they married in February of the same year.
Gisele gave birth to their first son together, Benjamin, that December. 3 years later, they had their daughter, Vivian. Brady's oldest son is named John from his previous relationship with Bridget Moynihan. In May 2016, Tom told Access Hollywood about his wife. I'm blessed to find this life partner that we all kind of seek at different times in our life. We found each other at the right time. We've been through a lot of ups and downs, and in so many ways. That's kind of built our relationship so strong. Nowadays, the couple looks as happy as could be, especially after the Patriots' 2019 big game win.
Today's feature comment comes from Greg on our Truth About Taylor Swift video. Thanks for your comment, Greg. Don't forget to leave your thoughts below, and we might feature you in a future video. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.